Hi, this is Blackhole Mathematics, where we analyze black hole with topology. In this lecture, I will explain about topology for black hole. And to do that, I will explain the papers. The boundary of a sphere with volume divergence is 4D manifolds. Here's abstract. We show that three-dimensional sphere with a volume divergence has a 4D manifold, 4D boundary, so the bulk of the sphere is 5-dimensional. And using the fact, we can show that black hole has 4-dimensional CFT boundary. Black hole has a flat surface CFT, and black hole has a 5-dimensional bulk ADS. Because black hole has a volume divergence. Let me explain more. And this is a topology for black hole surface, CFT. This is for stationary wave in surface of black hole. All particles have wave in surface of black hole. And this is for ADS phi, which represent a curvature of black hole. Every particle in black hole should be under gravity and have an infinite curvature near singularity. And the CFT and ADS phi should have correspondence, so the shapes of sphere and torus are needed to explain black hole. Introduction. In mathematical problems in physics, the concept of infinity is used a lot, and some of that is beyond our intuition. Let's look at pre-study about infinity. If we sum all natural numbers, we should get infinity. But if the sum should be a finite number for some regions, then it should be -1 per 12. This is called Ramanusan summation because he did it. This is quite weird because we think summation of natural number is infinite, and also summation of positive number is positive, but it is finite and negative. But if I assume the summation to be finite, the summation should be minus infinite. And this can be proven with physical fact. Zero-point energy of closed string is the most stable energy, which should be not zero, but only if the summation of all natural number is -1 per 12, the value can be positive and finite. AC is the zero-point energy of a closed string. If the sum of all natural numbers is not negative and finite, AC should be negative and infinite, but it contradicts our intuitions. If the energy is negative, all particles should be lighter as they get faster, and this makes every particle should be a lot faster than light, but this is not true. For example, as V is 0.8 C, 1 per gamma is 1.66, and when m is negative, m prime is bigger than m, which is beyond our intuition. When Einstein has velocity of 0.2 light velocity, he becomes black hole. But if summation is not minus, he can have time travel rather than become black hole, but time travel is out of our sense. So, velocity should be smaller than light velocity. But here, the flash has light velocity and it is very bright, though it should become black hole, which is very dark. So this series in Big Bang theory is not right. Uh, Yeah, he is too bright with a flash. And if flash has light velocity, the black hole cannot have photon sphere because it is same speed with photon, so photon cannot rotate. That is why flash cannot be made as movie. So, as summation is positive, the velocity can be bigger than light, and this means there exists a tachyon, which is out of our intuition, because tachyon only exists with duality in electron or black hole. As a conclusion, our nature only exists naturally, only when the summation of natural number is -1 per 12. In this way, we can see that the extraordinary thought about infinity is necessary to understand our universe. Here, we will show another thought about infinity, that the boundary of a three-dimensional sphere is four-dimensional, and the bulk of that sphere should be five-dimensional. This idea is similar to the first thought because a sphere with volume divergence should be bigger than a sphere with any radius. And if the sphere has a boundary, it means the sphere is bounded with a finite range. And with the same logic of the sum of natural numbers, if a sphere with volume divergence should have a boundary, then the dimension of the boundary should be four-dimensional. This idea is similar to the first thought because the sphere with volume divergence should be bigger than the sphere with any radius, and if the sphere has a boundary, it means the sphere is bounded with a finite range. And with the same logic of the sum of the natural numbers, if a sphere with volume divergence should have a boundary, then the dimension of the boundary should be four-dimensional. And this fact can be applied to black holes, like the way the principle of natural number sum is applied to string theory. It is already known that the black hole has a volume divergence and four-dimensional boundary. And using above fact, we can show black holes have a four-dimensional boundary because black holes have a volume divergence. It is already known that a black hole has a volume divergence, UV divergence. And four-dimensional boundary. Using our fact, we can show black holes have a four-dimensional boundary because black holes have a volume divergence. First, we will show that the sphere with volume divergence should have a four-dimensional boundary. Okay? Uh, in the next lecture, we will show that the sphere with volume divergence should have a four-dimensional boundary. So, thank you, my friends.